how, regardless how much money you have, starting from tomorrow, you're only possessing a certain amount of the new currency that was introduced. And someone was telling me that his father was burning sacks of the old currency. Imagine that you're having sacks of the local, of the convertible and exchangeable currency, and yet it's worthless.
What about if you have it in the bank? So?
I don't know, but I think it's the same, because he was trying to enforce this social equity within the society, to give all of them the opportunity to stand on one foot and then develop equally, which is rubbish, for sure. So this is impossible in the Islamic State. Because once you have gold or silver, it's impossible to reduce its value. You might say, well, practically, how practical is this idea? I mean, shall I bear a lot of coins and having 2 or 3 kilos of gold and come, sir, I wish to buy your car? No, of course not. The Islamic State can and will issue paper currency, but on the basis of gold and silver. So if you have, let's say, a banknote, 50 dinars, and you go to the bank, to the central bank, and you wish to exchange it for the equivalent amount of gold, you can do that. You can get gold for it. It's fully exchangeable. But today, you have papers that once the regime is overthrown or you have a état de coup, you don't know what will happen tomorrow. But this safety is granted and guaranteed in the Islamic State. So you see that there are several advantages with the Islamic economic system. It grants you happiness. It grants you the grace of your Creator. But it also grants you the circulation of wealth in the society, and inshallah even among humanity, in order to let each and every individual in the world enjoy his life or her life. What we are facing today, what we are experiencing, is the opposite of it. If you live in a certain region in the world, your chances of living a decent life is much higher than if you lived in another region of the world. And why? Not because you're living in a very rich region, but it's due to political corruption, it's due to dictatorship, it's due to the lack of Islam in some regions, who yet, unfortunately, call themselves to be the Islamic Republic of, and so on. And what you see is the non-Islamic Republic of, not the Islamic Republic. And unfortunately, this is the reality. So, the economic system of Islam, in addition to being a divine revelation from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, granting you happiness in this life and the other life, but it also grants you practicality, grants you humanity. Imagine people who live in under miserable conditions in Africa or in Asia or in Latin America. What kind of humanity do they have? Islam is being attacked quite often because it allows, slaves. But unfortunately, none is reacting to the fact that not only individuals are enslaved, but nations, countries, peoples are enslaved by connecting their currencies to the US dollars, for instance, or by being, what shall I say, governed by some puppets belonging to this or that political power, US, UK, France, or whatsoever. So we see that Islam is providing a solution, a real solution, and in the middle, or in the wake of this the latest financial crisis, and I'm saying the latest because this is not the last, this is only the latest. We are going to face even worse crisis in the future, and it's not my words, it's the financial analysts' word. Some voices, some quite courageous voices were raised in Europe among themselves, among the capitalists themselves, who were wondering, is it time to go back to Quran? Because what are the main reasons to the financial crisis? You have, of course, interest, riba, which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has cursed in the Quran. And He is saying in the Quran that those who deal with riba, prepare yourselves for a war. Against whom? Allah and His message. Well, if you are in a war with Allah, then your loss is for sure. Interest, number one. Number two, they are selling what they are not allowed to sell. The Prophet ﷺ says, لا تبع ما ليس لديك. Don't sell what you don't dispose of, what you don't have. Number three is this merge of share companies, as it's called in Arabic, الشركات المساهمة or المساهمة. The limited companies, the share companies. You see that you have few companies in the world controlling too much. Imagine of the airlines internationally, of the airlines that exist today on the international market, there are 10 airlines that more or less possess and control the rest of the airlines. So how many airlines do you have in the world? Is it 1,000, 2,000? And it's only 10 of them that are controlling the rest of them. So this superpower or this overpower is very dangerous. It's endangering the situation for the poorest. Arla, the Swedish milk company, it's operating as well in the Dominican Republic. And since it started operating there, plenty of farmers, of milk producers, quit. They couldn't continue the battle. I mean, if you have a company, an international company that's having plenty of resources to exploit and to lower the prices and to reduce the prices and to maximize the production, how can you, as a single, more or less poor milk producer in the Dominican Republic, what can you do against them? Nothing. The case is the same with the fishermen on the eastern and the western coast of Africa. It's the same. You have those fishing boats coming from the EU, the European Union, and they fish there and they leave. And that's it. What can you do about them? Nothing at all. You're a single fisherman or you're 2 or 3 fishermen, but you can't do anything. You can't do anything at all.